Waiting for mortgage rates to drop could be a costly mistake. Once rates drop, new home buyers will enter the market and prices will soar even higher. At Churchill Mortgage, you can get a free analysis and learn how to avoid the trap of waiting for interest rates to drop. Buy now and refi later at churchillmortgage.com. This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org. Equal Housing Lender. 1749 Mallory Lane, Suite 100, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027.
Oh, man. So, yeah, sitting there thinking about this for a little bit. It's amazing, you know, like, I come back, and people act like they never heard of J360 Radio or something. I come back, and then, like, somebody says, hey, hi, Jay, are we actually on this program? Are you insane? How the hell is anybody thinking they got a guest spot on the Mini Bites? It's a 15-minute show. Hell, I barely have enough time for me to be on it. You know? That is the weirdest damn thing to me. And then, like, gonna ask me, hey, could you tag us to the show? If you don't get the hell out of here with those requests, seriously. You know, here's the thing. You gotta remind people sometimes, because some people live in their own world where they think, hey, you know, there's one moment here where, there's one moment here where we don't really remember. Okay, well, guess what? Here's the thing. The Mini Bites get you ready for what's to come. This show right here is where I put my foot in your ass. Welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio.
Come unwrap some holiday magic this season in Denver, where the lights are brighter and the shopping is grander, where the season feels a whole lot more wonderful. Discover great hotels and more things to do at milehighholidays.com.
Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event at Beardmore Subaru, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, the Housing Foundation of Sarpy County, or Offutt Air Force Base's Airman's Attic. Plus, we will give an additional $100 locally to help even more. Go to BeardmoreSubaru.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/12/24. Promotion ends 1/2/24. See Subaru.com for more details.
Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? And welcome to the J-Man Show for episode 291. And I am your host, J-Man, of course. It's good to be back on a nice Wednesday night here at J360 Productions. And let me just tell you this, I wish that was a true... I wish it wasn't true, to be honest with you. But to be fair, I have been gone for 3 weeks. But, you know, like I said, I've been back for a while now. You should really kind of remember how things work around here. But like I say, that's why like certain things seem to be like people forget because people do. People have goldfish memory all over the place. But like I say, one way or another, like I love working with the Jam Fam and I love all the people in it. But the problem is that sometimes it's them weird ass requests that come out of nowhere. It's some weird ass requests where it's like, you know, you've been around me this damn long. You should really at least know what the top 5 are like. You know what I'm saying? It's just, ugh. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like you grab that one person, you grab like some sense, and then you just slap them with the sense, you know, so that they figure it out. It's like this. Don't ask me requests that you can't even back up. Okay? Like, it goes like this. This show comes every week. Jams is the event. Project Conference, which has 3 episodes to it, but once again... You know, it's usually around that 4th or 5th episode, people start coming up with different ideas, and I'm like, ideas are good, but don't go to this point where the damn show's unrecognizable to the one who created it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you want to talk partnership or something like that, it's a little different. You know, go ahead and outline something. Let's go ahead and see about this whole thing, and maybe we can reach a little compromise. But one way or another, it's like if somebody's been doing a show for so long and stuff like that, I don't think at that point, you know, like what Jams, let's say Jams is around like 65 episodes. I don't really want to hear any suggestions about Jams. I pretty much have done Jams. You know what I mean? I've celebrated it twice to get it to 3 seasons. And we're on the cusp of 100 episodes. I mean, I think that show is solid. Whereas, like, you damn sure can't tell me anything about the J-Man show because we're damn near to 300. And, yeah, I ain't listening to nobody. Think about it sometime. You realize this, right? You realize, like, the shows where I hold things down, usually, they kick ass. Whereas other people, in their infinite time, I don't know. People share the same Earth, same planet, and same time that I do. But they somehow figure they got all this time and wasted on the most petty, tiresome, low-T, weak, small dick kind of shit, you know? And it make you think sometimes, it's like, wow. And just a few minutes ago, you was talking about healing and being ultra positive. Of course, that's a problem too now. Allegedly, there's such a thing as toxic positivity and stuff. I mean, I can't with y'all sometimes. That's why I got this show, because it's like, you know, you want one thing, but at the same time, you go ahead and you overreach, or at the same time, you cause more problems than a little bit because you don't know what the hell you're doing or how you communicate. Well, I'll tell you straight about that kind of stuff. Make it make sense, all right? When somebody's got something already set and solid and all that kind of stuff, follow it to the letter. That's usually how it goes. Because I notice, like, when people have alternative plans or, you know, their introvertedness comes into play or whatever the excuse of the week is, it's usually something that comes out of nowhere to mess something up because, oh, I just was this and all that stuff. I'm like, look, I know you can get discombobulated and stuff like that, and you might need a little time, but there are people counting on you. And see, the thing about it is that, like, with me, myself, like, I'm starting to get that faith in humanity back. But there are moments where, you know what? I got to trim the line a little bit. There are moments where I got to be like, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always ready. I just released a PR statement about Project Conference earlier today. And you're going to get a copy of it on J360productions.com later this week. But the thing about it is, though, that's to get people ready and started for, like, their appearances and all. It's not that hard. You understand what I'm saying? If anything, I'm always representing me. Whether I got somebody in the booth with me or whether I got somebody doing a live show with me or, like, anything else like that, like, I'm always representing me. Can you represent you and follow through on things without making it complicated? There's a lot of prominent, promising people out here. They shoot themselves in the foot or something like that because they're so used to it and nobody holds them accountable for that stuff. You got to realize this. When you're working with me, I'm going to hold you accountable to the friggin' T. You are going to feel it one way or another. Because whereas I got to be responsible and be at my immaculating best and making sure I look really, really cool about things and make sure that I got everything all set up and ready to go, you need to be on that level too. If you're not, I'll be like, oh my God, why am I out here then? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not going to look bad. You're going to look bad before I ever do. That's just all there is to it. For those that I care about, I will not let you hang. I'll let you dangle a little bit, but I'll pull you back up. For those I don't care for, see you in China, bitch. Things like that, you know? Because it's insane. And then the thing is, people will want to drag you down with them. It's just like, come on, man. Get it right, will you? No, I'm not doing those strange, bizarre requests, and I'm not going to treat a certain band any better than I treat other bands that are still in the Jam Fam and all that kind of stuff. Because you know why? I know how that stuff go. Oh, well, you did that for them. Oh, you did that for them. You could have done this for me. Hey, Jay, do I have my spots reserved on Jams? Hey, Jay, do I have my spot reserved on Jam TV? All that kind of stuff. Trust me, I've seen this before, and it ain't gonna happen. Do you understand? All right, then. Off my nuts. But yeah, on the real, though, guys, it's like this. make sure, like, you really know what you're talking about, and make sure you know what show you're talking about. That's why I always say, like, when you send stuff, put the name of the J360 show in the subject bar so I know what you're talking about. Because we got a whole bunch of other things go on. It's kind of like if I got bad soda mail, and I haven't had any bad soda mail because that show's pretty immaculate, too. Let's just be honest. I mean, a lot of that cutting edge and stuff like that, you know, this is why we need comedy. And the thing about it is, you shouldn't have to worry about what show you're a part of and what show you're not a part of. If you want to see J360 Radio or J360 TV grow, you wouldn't have a problem with who's on the damn show. You would come in and enjoy the experience. You would come in and boost other people, including yourselves. That's the beauty of it. But you see, nowadays people don't understand what the hell that means. You don't know how to pay it forward. That's why your ass stuck in neutral. Get it? All right. It's like this. If I know that I'm not hosting somebody's show, I'll be there. If I'm not hosting somebody's show, yeah, I'll go see it. You know? For real, for real. It's like this. Just pay it forward sometime. But it seems like, guess what? Most people that started off that are really, really shit adults, they were probably horrible kids, too. You know what I mean? Like how certain kids got everything they wanted and all that kind of stuff. So at the same time, they're like, oh, well, now that I'm grown, I can really be an asshole to everybody else. Nah, see, it doesn't take much to do that. And you see, the thing about it is with me, well, you know, at the same time, I pay for everything here. And I've been pretty forthcoming, always transparent, doing the things that need to be done. But it's like this. You know how, like, you should look at every deal as like a table with a line on it. And you see, like, whatever's on my side that I put on, that's my part of the deal. Whatever you put on your side is your part of the deal. But some of you guys are far-reaching where you're trying to go ahead and knock my stuff off the table and wanting to take more. And then that's when I slap your hands and I'm like, no, damn it. We ain't playing it like that. Ain't gonna be no manipulations up in here. Equal shares all around. And we're gonna even this pot. And don't forget, I draw lines in the sand. I've been doing that for quite some time, guys. Think about it. It's all about respect the game sometime. You know? That's why I'm just going ahead and letting you all know about that stuff before we dive into what the rest of this episode is. But that's kind of how this works. Partnerships should work and be maintained as partnerships, not a backstabbing convention, not like who's going to overthrow who, beware the eyes of March, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's always like somebody wants to overthrow somebody else, and yet you don't know how to run anything in order to take over stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Can't even control yourself. You want to work on controlling something? Control your damn self. You ever think about it? I mean, for real. It's just like anything else. Like, there are people out here, they're really, really reaching on this DKOldies thing now, by the way. You know, like, I'm going to go ahead and jump into that. I'm just going to say this. I respect everybody in the Jam fam. But some of you other people out here that are content creators and stuff like that, make sure you play this game right, because I know how to play it, too. And this can go one of two ways, and I'm winning. So think about that. But all in all, though, let me go on ahead and jump into what this episode is really about now that I explain how J360 Radio works. Oh, man. So going back into the whole DKOldies thing, I was looking at people like really ripping them a new one, talking about refurbished products and all that kind of stuff, because they had that guarantee. And I've mentioned this before. But here's the thing. Are you really in the market to buy, like, pre-owned consoles? Are you really in the market to go and buy these things? Now, they will upscale their prices to ridiculous measures, and they won't even give you a first-party controller without, like, jacking up the price more. And I totally understand that. You're allowed to be pissed off at that point, but I think what people forget, and this includes, like, all sorts of resellers, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, for laughing moments, Wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, any of these things have something in common. This console has been used before. It might be out of warranty more than you know. It may not even friggin' work. And then there's times where, guess what? It works, but it probably works a little bit. There's times where, like, you know, older Xboxes, like the original Xbox, because of the CMOS battery and all, it will bust apart and leak. And it's, like, time to do it. There are moments where, like, with pre-owned consoles, they just stop working after a while. Like, no matter how many times we can repair, and put them back together and all that kind of stuff, it's cool to see and all, but, you know, these things can be perishable at times. Like, you understand what I'm saying. And it's good that we had our nostalgia, but you want to remember, like, the good memories that you had and all that kind of stuff, because it's hard to go back. Like, even sometimes sitting there playing the PS2 it's an enjoyment, though. But let me just tell you, like, there are moments where I'm looking to see, like, did my game finish downloading and stuff? Did, like, you know, certain circumstances that we now take for granted regarding, like, games that we have and all sorts of the system stuff that we do. Like, say, like, that publisher, that developer's not around anymore, you know, we spent all the extra money. Games are usually pretty okay. Like, there's nothing really wrong with that, but it's the system that runs it. You know, and it's like this. Anytime you are buying something pre-owned of any caliber, of anything, and it says refurbished, you should look at that with a grain of salt anyway. Even from Amazon, even from, like, some of y'all go to, like, any of these outlets and stuff. Like I said, you just got to look at that like, this doesn't seem to be right. Especially if you're not there to look at the condition or anything. You get what I mean? So, yeah, it's always a risk. If anything, you should think of these things as pawn shops, too. You know, especially if you're hawking it away. Like, it's just like, I guess, like, somewhere along the line, people don't go around their townships, their villages, or any of these things to see, like, who's selling what. Like, you should really take a walk around and do that sometime and, like, really pay attention, like, where things are and stuff. And then just look at it like, hey, this is no different. I'm at own risk when I do this. And you only spend what you're willing to lose. If you start playing it like that, you'll be a lot more disciplined and you'll know exactly what to do. Unlike certain people who overspend on OnlyFans, or unlike certain people who buy at DKOldies, and when there's like so many other ways, you can shop anywhere you want. You know what I mean? So the best thing to do is, as I was sitting there watching some of those videos with Al, they were hilarious. You know? It's just as hilarious as like people getting mad about Hogwarts Legacy. Really, though? You think the people that are buying that game are really supporting transphobia? You really think that... I would like to ask somebody who's really, really in that community and say, like, hey, are you worked up about this? You know what I mean? But not just that particular person. I guess we'll have to ask, you know, the population if they're really upset about it. I'm sure, like, much like those that are fighting for these people left and right, they forget that they probably don't care as much. They probably don't care as much as you do. Which is why, like, at the same time, people do this stuff for clout. But it's gotten so bad that they even made a YouTuber, like, retire or something like that. You made a virtual character retire from Twitch. That is insane. That is just like, you know, like when I made the last episode, it said, what a time to be alive. Because this stuff is nothing but pure, unadulterated lulz. The fuckery has become more of comedy than ever. And it's just like, you know, even with today is supposed to be International Women's Month. No, it's Women's Month, but it's International Women's Day. And you see there are people out there, they're like, yeah, they're doing all this celebration. And I'm like, I'm very happy for you. I'm happy for every single woman out there that's celebrating this, because apparently you won't be women tomorrow or some I'm just kidding. It's not even about that. Like, there are people that are still beating that dead horse, too, saying, men are afraid of women who are actually brave and actually confident in themselves and taking charge and doing things. Who? Because let me just tell you this. In this department and in this scheme of things, I don't know if you've been paying attention the last 6 years or so of knowing me on doing this series, but... Your man's an Amazon chaser. I don't know if you noticed, but I chase women that really go for things. Women excite me when they're actually confident and doing all that stuff that you think, like Wonder Womans and all that kind of stuff. Like, you really think about it, like, I don't care for the woman that you all think of that is easily misled or docile and stuff like that. That doesn't turn me on. But if somebody's out there career coming in, power suit, running their music just the way they need to, or having a fine voice like my crush does, she already knows she's not really a crush anymore. She's a lot better than that now. That's love interest now. But let me just tell you this. People like that, oh man, they got my attention. You know what I mean? Like when men are getting up and going for things and not blaming themselves for problems and stuff, knowing that this situation is whack, but at the same time know they can do something about it, so they're doing something about it, I respect it and am proud of them. When women do it, oh yeah, I love them from here to Pluto, baby. I am all about it. And I'm not just going to say that just because, like, you heard it from alpha males, sigma males, or whatever the hell, because everything has a name and a classification, even though we're supposed to all be equal and open-minded. So one way or another, we done found a way to mess that up too. Here's the thing. People are who they are. Now, there's somebody out that goes through their moment where they try to subjugate people, or where they feel like, no, you need to talk to me every day and all that kind of stuff. I don't talk to my love interest every day. I mean, I look at it like this. I'm like, hey, as long as you okay, you know, catch up some other time. Because I got a lot of crap to do myself. You know what I'm saying? We'll meet up if it's meant to be. We'll meet up. It's just one of them kind of things. People waste a lot of time on this stuff. And it's like insecurity comes in many, many forms. Women have them. Men have them. And God knows the non-binary crowd does. And then it just goes all over the place. So stop projecting this stuff. Really work out what your problem is. I don't know. Go stare in the mirror for a little bit and just be like, oh my God, I see myself. Oh my God, I ain't right. And then you know what? At the end of the day, it all just breaks in. Okay, it breaks in the right way, all right? That's what it's supposed to be anyway. But like I say, yeah, it's International Women's Day. And, you know, they still got the rest of the whole damn month. So it's like this. Here's the thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's all good and everything, but at the same time, don't be out here bullying people. Don't be out here making people feel indifferent about themselves. Or like anytime let the Marvel stuff rolls around and people are like, the MCU, and it's like, you know, that stuff was just movies. I mean, granted, I'm glad that you all have found something that you like, but you found a way to ruin it. Much like anything else. I mean, like I said, freedom of choice. You do not have to invest in this stuff. Sometimes the best thing to do is, and you'll notice this from time to time, because the way I go about doing things in my antics sometimes, this is how sick I'd be. I just go ahead and look at it and be like, nah, mute. Nah, I'm out. Yeah, I'm going. What did you say? Things like that, you know? Because it becomes static after a while. And it's just like, you know the difference. You've seen where this is going. And if it's a vicious loop and they start bringing that stuff back, which quite a lot of people are guilty of, you gotta leave then. Because there is no way you made a nuance point here. If anything, that game show host from Billy Madison was right about a lot of things in this day and age. You see what I'm saying? And that was a 90s movie. So, you know. One of them things to think about, yeah. Forward thinking. Speaking of comedy, by the way, did y'all see the Chris Rock comedy special? I mean, for once, Netflix did an actual live special. That's pretty good for Netflix, considering of all the other things they messed up, including, like, you know, we won't talk about the whole passwords thing, but I should go ahead and tell you, but no, I'm not going to do that this time. But the thing about it is, Chris Rock finally managed to come back strong, and he had a whole ovation of people there. But the funny part about it is, within one success, there's got to be people throwing mud on the other side. And the people throwing the mud on the other side obviously have never been to a comedy club, never laughed once in their life, or never at the same time enjoyed something, and they had to dwell on the slap. So here we go. It's the slap part Dukes. You know what I mean? Now, it's about, hey, Will Smith tried to reach out many times to apologize to Chris Rock. Oh, Chris Rock still hung up on Jada. No. I think you're all missing the point. Is Jada Pinkett Smith and the way she reacted made sure that Will would stand up for her, but Will did it in a very messed up way because at the same time, Will was all pieces and shattered. I don't know if you know that, but you can see that in him. And the thing is, there's repercussions to it. Oh, he can't go to the Oscar for 10 years. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? That's like Fox News is burning and blowing itself apart, and you're going to go ahead and sue Rupert Murdoch for $1 billion. You ain't hurting him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dumb. People are friggin' dumb. It's amazing. I can't wait to the point where I can ball to that whole extreme where you go ahead, you give me a slap on the wrist, and then you try to run me through the mud, and I come back 10 times stronger anyway. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah? Would you like that in cash, or would you like it in cash? Either way, you're going to eat it. And that's just how arrogant things would be. They don't know how to go after people who allegedly, to make a statement to somebody. Ooh, 10 years without the Oscars. I mean, he'll still win something. I mean, come on. You ain't slowing that man down. And the same thing goes for Chris Rock, too. And then when he went on that whole spiel about, like, when he went on that whole spiel about Will Smith, I laughed. Because he was right. And how you going to say he's wrong? I mean, were we all there on stage when he got... Did we all get slapped too? Not proverbially. Did we all get slapped too in actual practice? No, we did not. So stop trying to blow this thing up. Like, that was his reaction to it. He did a fine job. It was a great stand-up. And not only that, if you're outraged by what he says now, I can only imagine what the hell you would see, like, way back in the 80s and 90s when he was on, like, circuit tours all the time. Like, Bigger and Blacker, Roll with the New. Like, if you have never experienced those things, I mean, maybe you weren't here at the time, but... yeah, that was cutting edge Chris Rock back then. This right here is like a return to form, and it was good to see him in his element. You understand what I'm saying? Growing up, he was one of my heroes, you know? Like I said, I don't do hero worship on like YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but I do have comedians that inspire me for a lot of things I do, and he's one of them, you know? And I'm just like, they had a friendship there at one time, but... friendships fall apart for the most fractured, ridiculous reasons. I mean, it could be like we bought the same car, and it's not because, like, we were trying to outdo one another. It's probably because we both enjoyed the same car, but we bought the same one. You know, people get real petty about that. Or, like, you buy the same suit or something like that, and it's like, oh, I can't believe we're wearing the same suit. Oh, this ain't right, you know? There are people that just go above and beyond being petty. It's like this. You can't just look at it and say, hey, man, that's pretty good style right there, and just keep it moving. It's got to be a whole lot of nonsense. Or better, or worse, I should say. Better or worse. You probably wouldn't give a damn about it, but the people in your friends group would go on and on about it. You know what I mean? This is why, like I always say, you really got to pay attention to your circle, because your circle will probably get you in some crap that don't make any sense at all. Or, like, you know, at the end of the day, you got to go ahead and deal with the most conniving, tiresome BS. And it's to the point where it's like, what is this? This is not something that is required right now, and it's not necessary. Where is all this drama coming from? You see what I'm saying? And you can also hold that akin to what I was saying about working with other creators earlier in this episode. You really got to pay attention to things. And you really got to make sure, like, your stuff is concrete, because people will come in there and they try to mess this up. They'll try to change it. They'll try to rewrite it, twist your words around. It's not right. You know what I mean? And it's all because we all didn't go to the same depot at the time, but we were all there at the same meeting hall talking. You know? It's so weird to me. You know, even as I'm starting to work on making movies and stuff like that again, it's just like, what in the hell? You know? But yeah, like, if anything, the Chris Rock special is just a sign of, guess what? It was his moment to talk. He talked. Lots of people liked it. Lots of people respected it. But that very few that just want to keep this going, and they just want to make a problem out of anything, want to use this again. You understand what I'm saying? The same could go on about the whole Michael B. Jordan thing, where it's like that journalist was trying to talk to him, and then it turned out that she was like an old classmate of his or something, and then like she used to make fun of him and stuff like that, but now she has to interview him because of all of the top successes he's made with Creed 3. That's called karma, baby. You're going to have to eat. One way or another, you're going to have to take that on the chin, and then while you're at it, you're going to have to understand that you were wrong. Hey, yeah, how about that sometime? How about that you know, like, when people can't help not being wrong? You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh, I was wrong about everything. You understand that, right? Like people have a hard time with this. It's like when somebody tries to come in and gives me tries to give me like either a weird ass ultimatum or a weird ass deal. And I take a look at it. I'm like, do you realize that I don't give a damn about any of this and that I can buy and sell you at any point? Like at the end of the day, like I really don't need you as part of this because you are not helping the group grow and you're not helping the show succeed. You can go. You're expendable. Boom. Fish in a barrel. You out. You know? I hate to look at it that way. I hate to go ahead and say that kind of stuff. But you see, like, the truth is that, like, some people, when they think that they're bigger than other people, they're really not. And they go the extra mile to go ahead and do these things. And I don't know whether it's because they figure, hey, we cut the middleman out or people don't have to try as hard as they used to. But it's like this. I'm not desperate. And don't act like you are the last hope to anything that I do. because I can always do something different. You know what I mean? I could tell you guys stories, and there ain't enough time even in this show for me to tell you about how many times I reinvented myself. And I'm still not at my final form. You understand what I'm saying? And the stuff is just really ridiculous to me. But once again, this is human nature, so you got to know how to navigate human nature. People can't help or understand that they are able to be wrong. And the thing about it is, when they're able to be wrong, God help them if they're wrong and you use facts to make sure that they know they're wrong and it's in public. Because in public, they really can't act right. In private, they'll sit right there for a little bit and be like, oh, wow, maybe that was something. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, you did it to yourself. Like any of the people that were here and they're not here anymore, there's a specific reason why, and it's not always because of what you think, like, oh, they must have pissed J-Man off. J-Man had to do what J-Man had to do for his business. That's all there is to it. Looking at the big picture, not staying small. You gotta look at it that way sometimes. What is best for you, your brand, and your future? That's what you gotta look at sometimes. And some people are just not about that. They're about their own selfish way, and they can't keep it to themselves. They got to bring it out here to everything else. That's what messes up status quo sometimes. Yeah, your job sucks, but you need to eat. Think about it when I say you need to eat. All right? But yeah, like as I go about talking about eating sometime, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know this. Okay, so see, like, I was at a company picnic, right? Well, not a company picnic per se, but, you know, somebody brought in snacks. And I was like, hey, look, a little cupcake. Okay, I haven't had one of these in a while, so let me go ahead and get me one, right? So I go in and I get one. And then, you know what? I was about to eat it till I saw a little extra strand of something, and it definitely wasn't fruit, and it definitely wasn't extra frosting. I saw a long hair on there. And it was blonde, I'll tell you that. And I looked at that, and I looked around the office to see who has blonde hair and why is this on this cupcake. And then I really thought about it, and I just threw the whole thing away, and I was like, y'all just have a good time without me. Because you know why? Because that's pretty damn disgusting. Like, if anything else, like, I'm sitting there the whole time, I'm like, you know what? I can't eat company food. I can't eat at these little gatherings and stuff like that. I mean, you can say COVID might have a part of this, but I'm going to have to do it the right way. Remember when you were as a kid, and, like, you know, if you were lucky enough, you could have bag lunch, you could have Lunchables, you could have all that stuff. Well, you know what? It's time to bring it back, baby. I'm going to be bagging my lunch from now on. And not just for work and not just for special events. I'm doing it everywhere I go. Even when I'm on a date. You know what I mean? Like, look. I got my juice, I got my cookies, I got my sandwich and my small chips. I at least who made this damn meal. You understand? I could never mess this up. I got crew cut hair. My beard, on the other hand, I got something to cover my beard up with. You understand? One way or another, ain't gonna be no hair or nothing in that food. That food is gonna be pristine. The texture, correct. Everything right and sublime and good to me. You know what I mean? And not only that, like, see, while I'm at a date and me and the lady or whomever it is, like, you know what I mean? Like me or whomever, because, you know, you never know. You can have business lunches, you can have business dates, all that kind of stuff. But whoever me or whomever that lady is, we sitting right there, we at the table, and we got ourselves with the well, she got the menu, but me on the other hand, I got my little igloo that I pull out. And I unzip it, and I got my little bento box, I got my thermos, I got all the stuff I need. And then I look over at her, she looking at me, I'm like, I wonder what you eating tonight, sweetie. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there drinking the stuff. But you know what? Restaurants are very particular. If they look at me and say, hey, sir, you can't eat that here, don't worry, I won't cause no problem. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my stuff, I'm going to go sit in my car. I'm going to sit in the back seat of my car, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and have the moon roof going over. And then I get to see all of the sights that I need to see. It's scenic at that point. You understand what I'm saying? And then I got Spotify playing for the mood. This is a life hack, baby. This is what it is. Hashtag life hack, hashtag game changer. You understand? And this will work for social distancing too, because while she's over at the restaurant, I'm in the parking lot. So I can go ahead and like utilize, you know, what is it? It's not Google Duo anymore, but it is, I think we can utilize whatever their version of the, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, you know, camera to camera, like, you know, like if anything, Instagram Live and all. Like, I can't really think of the stuff, but I will tell you this, though. It works, but then at the same time, we'll have to use that if I'm not feeling it. Turn the camera off and stuff. Because you see, the thing about it is, she's having a good time in the restaurant. I'm having a good time at the restaurant. Because that parking lot is actually owned by the restaurant. See what I'm saying? It works. And any of y'all introverts out there, you would wish you thought of this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all sitting there. You know, you ain't feeling the rush with people. You can go ahead and sit in your car. Now, granted, I don't think it'll be a perfect date at that point, but understand this, it wasn't going to work out anyway. So here's the thing. Hashtag be like me. You know what I mean? Because this is not hurting anybody, and if you know that it ain't working out, you can easily escape while she go ahead and take the bus back. And whatever the hell that she ordered and stuff, it won't fall back on you because you brought your bag lunch. See, this works, man. Ain't nothing going wrong with it at all. This is actually a pretty brilliant idea. And you know what? Once again, hashtag be like me. You know? And we did this on International Women's Day, too. So this is a very beautiful achievement. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Trust in this, okay?
Don't believe him.
Yeah, you better not, all right? That idea is not going to work. If anything, that was just a silly-ass idea I had on the way of everything. But I'm going to tell you this, though. Bag lunches were the shit back then. So you got to realize, like, it would be pretty cool to go about doing that sometimes. Within reason. Now, I guess on dating and stuff like that, you know, I haven't been to a restaurant in a while, to be honest with you. Stuff like that. I mean, I guess because, like, the thrill of it, it's there, but at the same time, I really don't care. But like I said, if I needed to go on a date or if I needed to take a lovely lady out and all, you know, like, I wouldn't mind doing it and stuff. And it would be fun. But the only thing about that is it's like, oh, boy. Once again, remember what I said about dress to impress and be about the whole thing? If I'm coming in and I'm being about the whole thing and I really believe in this, well, I would like those that are in my party to do the same. That's the one thing to remember. And quite a lot of people, they don't see it that way, or they feel as though, hey, this is just their way of getting in. And like I say, you got to take responsibility for the things you do. Just like I did for that crazy-ass joke right there. I can't think of the name of that damn app to save my life, but I know what it is. FaceTime. There it is. Good thing I ain't got no endorsement by Apple, because I could care less anyway. But like what I'm saying is, it's like, you know, much like anything else, it was a fun idea to think about until you realize, you know, the companionship, and you never know, you might actually enjoy being around that nice young lady and all. And it's like, it's one of those kind of things to think about. You know what I mean? See, who's to say J-Man don't have a heart? It's there, but I ain't showing too much of it to y'all. Worry about yourself, will you? But yeah, like, if anything else, I'm just like, yeah, you know, like, always, it was a fun idea to think about, but I don't think I'll actually pursue that entirely. Because here's the thing. You spend a whole lot of money at the grocery store, then, like, hold on a minute. Yeah, they supercharge you at restaurants. Hold on. You know what? Hold on. We are going to stamp this as a maybe, okay? Because there might be a chance this could work. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I wrote maybe on that one. But let's just say, like, moving forward, though, like, I'm trying not to be too hard on you guys because life is crazy. And I get, like, you know, we all have different ways and different approaches. And sometimes the best thing to handle certain things is just say no. Just really just look at things and say no. Just be like, you know what? This ain't going to work. I'm not going with that. Actually, let's come up with a different compromise on things. Or, hey, let's go ahead and find a different solution to the problem. Or, hey, like, you know, let me just go ahead and pencil all of this down because this is still new. It's still in its prototype phase. And as it is running and it's getting better, you know, we can go ahead and go through with this. It's kind of like all those long times of testing that I used to do for this company and all. You know, like, R&D is a very beautiful thing. And, like, when you're doing your tests, you know exactly how things go about, and then you see how long you want to run with things. And you should always look at stuff like that, you know? Which is why, like, I don't understand why people aren't as courageous as they like to present themselves as. Like, in actual practice, like, you do realize the moment where you could have been brave and you did not take action on that, there's going to be another moment where you have to step up. And I don't know why people don't do it. I don't know. Maybe it's too scary for them, but as per usual, it never really happens to me because it ain't the way my lifestyle works. It just isn't. Looking back on everything, I was bold and strong enough to go ahead and follow through on this thing, even if it didn't work. But you know what? If anything, Alan could tell you that stuff a lot better than me. But the point is because if I tell you it, I'll tell you how I made it all work and I was the champ and still broadcast this to you. Alan will tell you about the time where it's like this. I was pissed and then I had to come back. So there's little things like that. But as per usual, though, guys, I just got to say, like, you know, be mindful of things, all right? And then here's the thing. Respect the game. And then while we're on the subject here, you know, show some appreciation, some respect to everybody else that's trying. We're not all making around here. We're not all doing these things, but we're rising. We're taking back what is rightfully ours. And then some, you know? I have a lot to showcase. I have a lot that I'm ready to throw out here. I have a lot that I'm ready to prove, regardless of who's on my side or not. I got to be there. Just like doing this episode every Wednesday. Just like doing the power play tomorrow. Around the same time at 10. Get what I'm saying? But until then, though, I'm going to have to cut it here. You guys take care of yourselves. This is J-Man signing off. Peace.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino. With cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.